Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Aju TV, and today we're diving into Heavenly Ever After episodes 1 and 2, a roller coaster of emotions, laughter, and a whole lot of mystery. From Young Ae's heartbreaking accident to Haesuk's bittersweet reunion with Nakjun in heaven, there is so much to talk about. And yes, we have to get into the big question: who is Somi, and is Young Ae really gone? Let's break it all down, explore some wild theories, and get ready for what's coming in episode 3. In episode 2 of Heavenly Ever After, we see Young Ae, left behind in the living world, missing Haesuk terribly. She's so consumed by her grief that, after hearing a ridiculous lie from a shaman about Haesuk's soul still wandering, she rushes out, determined to meet Haesuk. Sadly, she ends up getting into an accident. The episode ends with a mysterious woman arriving to find Nakjun, leaving us with even more questions. And I have to admit, the sound of Haesuk's last thread of sanity snapping was honestly so unexpected and hilarious. Let's take a quick look at the highlights of episode 2, and then dive into the preview for episode 3. Is Young Ae really dead? And who exactly is this mysterious woman looking for Nakjun? Let's talk it all through. After the accident, Nakjun has a simple but heartwarming wish: to run once more, to feel alive, if his legs heal. So, the moment he reunites with Haesuk, he shows her that he's able to walk and run again. "I think I'll live," he says breathlessly, and Haesuk, watching him with such love in her eyes, is overjoyed to see her long-lost husband returning to his old self. But as she looks around heaven, surrounded by the young and vibrant, she feels a little out of place. After all, she's still in her 80s. She tries to hide from her reflection, not quite ready to fully celebrate their reunion in heaven. There's this beautiful, bittersweet moment when Haesuk, seeing herself as an elderly woman in the midst of all these youthful souls, starts feeling self-conscious. She even feels awkward about calling Nakjun honey, or walking around arm in arm with him in front of others. But Nakjun, bless him, is just as cheerful and carefree as ever. He eagerly shows Haesuk around heaven, introducing her to everyone as his wife, and he lovingly reminisces with her over their first date while enjoying tonkatsu. "You're still adorable," he says, gazing at her with affection. Nakjun's playful nostalgia shines through when he sticks out his butt, hoping Haesuk will pat it like she used to, just like old times. It's such a pure and innocent moment. He's like a child in that instant, and it's honestly so endearing. Later on, Nakjun gets really vulnerable, lying in bed and staring up at the sky, reflecting on Haesuk's sacrifices. He wonders how heavy the days must have been for her, carrying the weight of their life together, while he was stuck in a still, immobile body. After learning that Haesuk was working part-time during her last days on Earth, he feels powerless. He can only tell her to remember her umbrella every day. It's heartbreaking to see him wish he could have done more for her when she was alive. He simply wants to make things right in heaven, to do the things he couldn't do for her when they were together on Earth. But Haesuk, despite all the hardship, never blamed Nakjun. Instead, she was always happy to go home to him at the end of the day. There's a lovely line she says: "I married you just for your looks anyway, just looking at you fills me up," which really shows how much she protected him from guilt, never wanting him to feel burdened by her pain. In heaven, Haesuk is one of the few who feels like she doesn't quite belong. She even questions if she was good enough to deserve to be there. But after hearing Nakjun's heartfelt thoughts, she walks home with him, and in that quiet moment, she realizes that, yes, this is heaven after all. Meanwhile, Haesuk meets Sonia in heaven. Sonia, dressed in black and with a cat-like aura, looks just like, well, Sonia. It's a bit of a funny moment, but there's a bittersweetness to it. I never thought we'd see a stray dog's euthanasia story in Heavenly Ever After, but here we are. And as Haesuk tries to process all of this, she can't shake the sound of Young Ae's cries, still echoing in her mind. Back in the living world, Young Ae is desperately grieving Haesuk, mourning the loss of her best friend. One day, in a moment of hopelessness, she hears the shaman's false story that Haesuk's soul is still wandering. Clinging to this hope, young Ai rushes out, hoping to meet Haesuk's spirit. Sadly, she ends up in a terrible accident. But is she really dead? Is this the end of her journey? Then there's the mysterious woman who appears at Nakjun's door. She arrives with no memory, only the name, Go Nakjun, stuck in her head. Nakjun, ever the kind soul, gives her the name, Somi, and invites her to stay in his and Haesuk's home. It's an intriguing mystery, and you can't help but wonder, could Somi really be young Ai in a different form? In a particular highlight, Haesuk watches Somi perform an umbrella technique, and she starts to suspect that maybe young Ai passed away and arrived in heaven as Somi. But, considering that young Ai lived with Haesuk for so long, wouldn't she recognize her immediately? If Somi were truly young Ai, wouldn't she remember Haesuk and seek her out? I personally think young Ai isn't dead yet. I believe she's still in the living world, mourning Haesuk and trying to find her way. Maybe, after the accident, she'll experience a near-death experience. The mention of a man who didn't die but experienced a near-death experience in episode 2 seems like a subtle hint at what might happen to young Ai. Perhaps she will meet Haesuk in the afterlife during her near-death experience, resolve her emotions, and return to the living world, where she can finally find happiness with someone who truly loves her. The mystery of Somi. Why does she only remember Nakjun's name? Could it be related to her connection with him? One possibility is that Somi might have been the cause of the accident that hurt Nakjun. Maybe Nakjun was trying to save her, or maybe the accident happened because of her. There's also the possibility that when Somi and Nakjun were both brought to the hospital, Nakjun heard Haesuk crying for him, which left such a lasting impact on Somi that it's all she remembers now. I also can't help but think about what the Heaven Support Center director said, that heaven is a place where people can finish what they couldn't in life. What if Somi has been carrying guilt over the accident? Maybe, after she died, she came to heaven to finally apologize to Nakjun for what happened. Another possibility is that Nakjun saved Somi at the subway station. Perhaps she was about to fall into hell, and he rescued her. In the chaos, she could have only remembered his name, Go Nakjun. The more I think about it, the more intrigued I get. The mystery of Somi's true identity is only deepening. Looking ahead to episode 3 in the episode 3 preview, Haesuk sees a young woman approaching Nakjun. There's tension when Haesuk decides to leave, telling Nakjun to live his life with the young woman, and things take a dramatic turn when Somi and Nakjun have a heated confrontation, resulting in them both getting into trouble. Haesuk then travels back in time to meet her mother, and I can't help but feel so curious about how her journey through heaven will unfold. And that's it for today's breakdown of Heavenly Ever After episode 2 and my own creation of episode 3. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next review. Episodes 3 and 4 are coming up soon, and I'll be here to talk all about them. Until then, take care, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.